Hot take: Brock Lesnar's WWE days are over for good. Brock Lesnar isn't making a return to WWE, and that might actually be a blessing in disguise. The rumor mill will undoubtedly keep churning out stories about Lesnar's comeback, especially as major events like WrestleMania approach. However, fans can comfortably disregard these reports because this current era of WWE simply doesn't need him. There's also a lingering resentment from the Vince McMahon days, when part-timers were routinely thrust into significant roles, often to the detriment of an already talented roster. Some might still cling to the fantasy of Lesnar engaging in a feud with Gunther, but what's really to gain? Gunther already boasts the World Heavyweight title, and the current landscape on Raw is ripe with exciting rivalries. Think CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and the emerging Braun Breaker. The so-called Lesnar bump no longer holds the allure it once did, with many fans growing weary of relying on part-time stars for shock value. His previous outings, like that puzzling feud with Cody Rhodes that ended with Lesnar simply raising his hand, or the underwhelming stint with Omos, serve as clear reminders that his presence can often feel like filler on the road to WrestleMania. If WWE ever did feel compelled to reintroduce Lesnar for a moment, it might be more beneficial to have him help elevate a rising star like Breaker, rather than stealing the spotlight for his own brief moment. After all, in today's wrestling environment, there are fewer pay-per-view events and fewer matches overall, which places a higher premium on long-term storytelling and solid character development. That means the limited spots on the card for established veterans like Lesnar are being carefully guarded. With Randy Orton dominating that niche, and hints already dropping about his forthcoming feud with Cody Rhodes, WWE seems poised to rely on a fresh slate of rivalries. Even Goldberg is rumored to make a one-off retirement appearance to honor his legacy, and let's not forget the highly anticipated John Cena retirement tour scheduled for 2025. Beyond the creative booking issues, there are real-world factors at play. Lesnar's absence from WWE programming coincides with the fallout from the Janelle Grant lawsuit, and recent reports indicate that there are no creative plans for him until the matter is resolved. Even if that situation changes, the landscape of pro wrestling has evolved. At 47, Brock Lesnar is also a victim of time. WWE is unlikely to risk another high-profile disaster reminiscent of the Undertaker-Goldberg extravaganza in Saudi Arabia, and it's hard to envision a more tempered Lesnar participating in tag team bouts like John Cena has in recent years. While this may sound overtly anti-Lesnar, it's not about diminishing his legacy. There's no doubt he's one of the greatest of all time, a phenomenal seller whose classic encounters with CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Finn Balor are etched in modern wrestling lore. However, the sport has moved on. Today's wrestling is more nuanced, with meta-narratives and blurred lines taking center stage. In this new era, a return from Lesnar could feel messy and ultimately unnecessary. In some respects, it's a pity to see a legend step away. But as pro wrestling evolves, the longer his absence continues, the clearer it becomes that Brock Lesnar's final act in a WWE ring may have already been written.